Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Ford Mustang RTR in Asphalt 9 at, well, 1 star because that's what I was able to get it to in the event, but more on that later. All the races in this video were recorded in the current Unbreakable season, at least current as I'm recording this. In this first race, we are racing against an Agera RS and some other cars that might not be as much of competition. And before we get too much into the video, let me just address the elephant in the room. I've been away for quite a long time. I haven't uploaded a video in about a year and a half. I think it was April of 2024 when I last uploaded, or maybe it was May or June, I forget exactly, but it's been about a year and a half. It is currently November of 2025. Well, I did not plan to be away for so long, and if any of y'all watched my stream this past weekend, you'll know a little bit of the story, but let me just briefly summarize it here. So, I have been trying to pass the 6th actuarial exam for the past year and a half. I took it once last November. The reason why I had kind of stopped uploading last year was because I was studying for that. I failed at my first attempt last November. In this March, I took it again, failed again, and finally, in the end of October of this year, I took it for the 3rd time, and I feel pretty good about it. I'll get my results in January, but I feel confident that I passed, and because of that, a lot of stress is lifted off me, and I finally feel like I have time to come back and make videos. So, this very first race, and the very first video since we are returning, is appropriately on one of the most interesting new tracks that we've gotten since I have been gone, which is one with portals. So, I've not uploaded anything since Asphalt Legends Unite came out, and it is now Asphalt Legends, but they added San Diego Harbor from Asphalt 8, which is pretty awesome since I always loved that track in Asphalt 8. And then there's a couple variants that have portals to other tracks, such as, for example, California from, I believe it was Asphalt 6 or 7. I would love to see the full track from that, but even just getting a glimpse of it like we have is pretty awesome, since the first Asphalt game I ever played was Asphalt 6, and so anytime they add a new track that is really just a version of an older track in a previous game, I have a lot of fun with it. It brings me a lot of nostalgia. So I got this Mustang RTR in the recent HoloLive event, which was actually the perfect event to come back to, because it was, well, number one, a Mustang, and y'all know I do love my Mustangs, but it was also a good difficulty of event, because it used a number of cars that I had, but not at very high of stars, so I was able to unlock some new cars to the event. I starred up my Civic through the event, and maybe a couple of other cars as well, and I got this S-Class Mustang. You may be thinking, well, you're at 1 star. How good can it really be? S-Class cars are never very good at 1 star. And you're right. But one thing that I found out just recently was that MP2 now is based on car rank. And I don't know how long it's been this way. You'll probably see how ignorant I am to some of the new stuff that's been in the game. But anyways, that's something that we have not had in Asphalt 9 pretty much ever. There were a couple of seasons a while back that I think had something similar to that, but they never stayed around very long. But now, when you play any car in the MP2, whether it be this Unbreakable series or the Turbo Squad, which we played during my live stream, that is based on car rank. I believe it is within a few hundred rank, maybe 300 or so. So like 150 above or below you. And that allows you to do well in a lot of cars. And it means that generally S-Class cars will be better because they typically have a better speed for the same rank than you would find in something like B or A-Class cars. And you know what else this means? This also means multiplayer tuning is kind of on the table. Now, I don't think multiplayer tuning will be as prevalent in this game, assuming this stays, as it was in Asphalt 8 for a couple of reasons. First off, because it's been added to the game so late, all of the cars that are already in the game that, you know, most people have are already upgraded to max, or they have everything upgraded that you can, because that's always been the best way to, you know, upgrade cars in Asphalt 9, is just kind of upgrade them as much as possible so that you have the best chance, because multiplayer has always been based on player rating rather than car rank. And this is one of the new tracks, Norway, which I'm actually visiting next summer, which is entirely coincidental. But yeah, you can tell I'm not entirely up to speed on it, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. And it has led to some extremely close races, such as this one here. We have a Corvette ahead of us that we're coming up to because we're faster. I hit him a bit at the end, but we only have one turn left. This car doesn't drift super well, so I go around the corner, kind of bump him a little bit. My acceleration was a little better though, and so I pass him at the very last second and come in first. I had some great races like that. You'll see maybe one other one similar to that in this video. But back to multiplayer tuning, the other reason why I don't think it'll be very prevalent is because I don't think top speed is as important in Asphalt 9 as it is in Asphalt 8. Obviously, it's still very important, but the thing is, in Asphalt 8, cars were at their top speed for a longer period of time. In Asphalt 9, especially in high-end S-Class cars, you are honestly quite rarely at your top speed just because of how this game works. And because of that, I don't think it will be as pertinent to, say, just tune top speed on all cars if you want them to be good in multiplayer, you know, because there are so many twisty tracks in this game. I don't really know if anyone has really discovered maybe what the best way would be to make cars multiplayer tunable. My guess is that increasing acceleration and top speed and maybe handling in nitro not as much would be a good idea, but I have not tested that, so take that with a grain of salt. That's just my speculation. Maybe I will try to tune some cars that way and see how they do. We'll see. But in any case, I'm very glad that this mode of matchmaking has finally come to Asphalt 9 and hopefully will be to stay, because this is, in my opinion, how multiplayer matchmaking always should be, at least in one season. Now, the other season is based on player rating, and you can only take certain cars based on your player rating or based on the league that you're in. So that's still there. It's very similar to how it is set up in Asphalt 8 now, which is interesting. They're still, even with how old Asphalt 8 is at this point, they're still taking ideas from Asphalt 8 and putting them into Asphalt 9, which honestly, I think it's kind of cool. Probably the most common question I got in my live stream is, when am I going to upload videos again? Well, here's your answer. This is the first one. But in terms of how often I'm going to do it, most likely I'll stream every other week and then maybe upload a video, possibly two, but let's just stick with one for now in the time between each stream. Because, you know, I still am pretty busy and I'll be studying again for exams at some point soon. I think one stream every other week and one video every other week as a baseline will be pretty sustainable, so I'm gonna aim for that for now. And to give a quick general review of this car, it's okay, nothing all that special, but because it's a Mustang, I enjoy it. And we passed this Vanda at the very last second, which I've actually maxed recently, to take the victory. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt Legends content, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!